We have a crisis of participation. And I got to tell you guys, I went to a Donald Trump rally a couple nights ago. Never been to one. I had an event across the street. I saw the line of people waiting in the cold for hours. And I thought, what the heck? You know, I'm going to be a leader who actually invites people, doesn't condemn them. Met probably 50 Trump people waiting in line. Every single one of them, thoughtful, hospitable, friendly. All of them so frustrated that they feel nobody's listening to them but Donald Trump. A diverse crowd, people who had never been to a Trump event before. My party is completely delusional right now.
All right, random clip. I don't know how well this is even necessarily going to be received, but Joe Biden's top challenger, Dean Phillips, did indeed give a speech. We might as well sit and watch it in our tradition because we wanted to see Cenk Uygur's concession speech. I was waiting to see Cenk Uygur talk about the corporate Democrats and how they're going to let Trump win and he's a racist. But I guess here's the next best thing. Democratic primary challenger Dean Phillips spoke about an hour ago. Here you go, chat.
All right. You know, I know a lot of politicians start with a lot of thank yous, and I got to start with mine. My lovely wife, Annalise Phillips. My amazing sister, Hutton Phillips. My brother, Tyler, somewhere in the house. My amazing campaign family. You all know this. You know, Nikki Haley, I want to say, well, congratulations to President Biden, who absolutely won tonight. But by
so unlike Nikki Haley, he's able to
no means in a way that a strong incumbent president should, but I respect him. He won. I want to congratulate former President Trump for winning tonight as well. But Nikki Haley just said she's been here working for a year. Well, we've been at this for 10 weeks, my friends, and we just got we decided 2 weeks before the October 27 deadline to come up to Concord, bring a $1,000 check. I was 35 years old or older, and I was born in the U.S., so we became a presidential candidate. We just earned 20% tonight, and no one knew who you were 10 weeks ago. Nobody.
You know what? That's true. You got to give credit to Dean for that because, yeah, he's right. The campaign's only been going on 10 weeks. It's not like he announced way back. It was like a last minute thing, like literally right before these primaries. No one knew who he was. He's just some random congressman. And like I said, I probably disagree with him on a lot of the issues, but he is brave for doing what he did. He really is.
And the fact that the party I represent would have the audacity to take that from you and would have the audacity to say that this was meaningless? No.
True.
Your votes tonight were the most meaningful votes you've ever cast in your life, and I'll make that promise to you because I'm going to use them going forward. And no party in this country, Democratic, Republican, or otherwise, no party should ever receive a letter from one of our 50 states' attorney generals, a cease and desist for the unlawful suppression of voters. They didn't suppress you, thank goodness, but they sure did a lot of people. So I'm here to say, you ready to keep this baby going? Because I sure as hell am.
You know what? As a conservative who, again, I don't know much about this guy, but I don't think we share a lot of political alignment. If I were a conservative, which I am, I kind of fear this guy in a way. Because a lot of these other Democrats are so easy to knock down because they're just so ridiculous, right? And it's easy to just despise them back because they despise you and they, say the most ridiculous, vile things about Trump supporters and all that. And they support a move like he mentioned there, right? Moving the primary out of New Hampshire, basically giving the middle finger to the people in New Hampshire because, it's too white, it's too rural. Yeah, screw you, Americans, that we have have the first primary for 100 years. You're not diverse enough. Go to hell. That's basically what they're saying. And Dean Phillips actually sort of similar to Trump in 2016 or whatever, speaks to people in this country that are forgotten, are left behind. He said that in a New Hampshire speech. He said a couple days ago how he doesn't think Trump supporters are evil and they just feel forgotten and the Democratic Party is delusional. We need to speak to these people. So honestly, I'm thankful that this guy has no chance of being the nominee, because I think realistically he could be a very formidable candidate against the conservative, because he actually is unifying. He actually is charismatic, unlike Gavin Newsom. I will say I think Gavin Newsom's charisma is very overplayed. This guy is actually charismatic. So, and I think the good news on our side, right, is because this guy stood up to Biden and stood up to the party and is saying these things about the party, let's be real, he's never going to get the Democratic Party's blessing, even in the future. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to blackball him now. Now they're going to try to blacklist him. They're going to try to defund him, try to stop. They might even try to run a primary challenger against him. In the same way, you kind of seen Kevin McCarthy do that to certain congressional candidates. On our side, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do that to Dean Phillips, because it's like, hey, you stepped out of line. You questioned the party. You didn't spend an hour demonizing white people and all this stuff. You're not on our team anymore. So that might be good news for us, actually, that a guy like this will never probably see power, which on the other hand, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he was brave enough to stand up to his party and he deserves a lot of credit there. But we also recognize realistically what's going to happen because, this guy actually is charismatic. I will be honest. I'm listening to him. I've never heard him speak before. He is likable, If he could be very formidable as a future Democratic presidential candidate. But like I said, we're almost lucking out as the conservative side that this guy, in a way, committed political suicide by, trying to challenge Biden like this. So very interesting. But let's listen to the rest of the speech because I'm actually kind of fascinated by this guy now.
I did this for a really simple reason.
Yes, we will watch Marianne Williamson.
And I think I'm the only one standing in the way of that man. That's why we got to keep going. A lot of people put a lot of faith in Nikki Haley tonight. This was the one state they thought maybe if it happened here, maybe it could happen. It didn't happen, my friends. I'm the only one going to stand in the way of that man. And that means I need all of you. Joe Biden is a good man. He is a fine man. Yes, he is, everybody. He's our president. But I got to tell you, everyone, he cannot win. The polls are saying he cannot win. His approval numbers are saying he can't win. And the fact that an unknown congressman from Minnesota 2 weeks before the election said, I'm going to come up here and run for president, just got 21%. That's saying something too, my friends. So this is not a campaign about me. This is a campaign about all of you and all the people we're about to meet all around this big country that are looking for somebody to get excited about and to energize us and bring hope and bring love and bring joy and bring some energy. Woo! So I've had so much darn fun, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't have a prepared speech on a teleprompter. We're not that kind of campaign. I answer questions. I like the press, believe it or not. I'll do debates. I do town halls. I show up and walk through the snow, and I meet all of you. It's amazing what can happen in 10 weeks. So
yeah, this guy, like I said, this guy is actually very charismatic. He's fun to listen to. He's not scripted. He's almost like the Vivek of their side. And I'll be real, guys. I kind of fear him in the future, but I'm also seeing it like, well, he's gonna get destroyed because he did this, so
I did good news, I guess. On CNN this morning. They said, what did you think about your 7% poll in New Hampshire? And I said, well, you know what? I don't think that's quite right. In fact, we just did 3 times better than that in 4. So I'm telling you all, if we can go from 7% to 21% in 9 hours, imagine what we can do in this country. So, I did this because we need to beat Donald Trump. I did this because of something much more important than that too, everybody. I've been listening, and I've been hearing some of the saddest stories you could possibly imagine from hardworking people all throughout this state. We need to ensure that every single American has health insurance and do not break the bank because of one illness. We cannot be a country that allows 2/3 of all bankruptcies because of medical debt. We cannot be a country that charges double healthcare prices of anywhere in the world. We cannot be a country that allows pharmaceutical
hitting the right issues too, right?
And when I am president, they will not and they cannot. When I'm president, there will not be a pharma company that charges us a penny more than they charge our Canadian friends, our Mexican friends, our French friends, our English friends, our Australian friends, and our Japanese friends. And when I'm president, there will not be people sleeping outside any longer. 500,000 of our neighbors sleeping outside at night. Shameful. Shameful. Veterans sleeping outside in Veterans Park right here in Manchester.
See, there's another thing I'm talking about why this guy could actually be a threat to Republicans if he was ever given a chance, because he's one of the only Democrats who's not gaslighting about the homeless crisis, right? Everyone says, oh, it's fine. Like Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, said, I don't feel unsafe in LA. You know, all this crap. It's like nobody believes you. He calls it out directly. He's like, yes, homelessness actually is a bad thing and we need to stop it and it's out of control. So, you know, he's actually too smart for his own party. Okay. Maybe he should leave and become an independent, and we'll have a conversation, okay? Because, and that's arguably why he's being rejected so hard by his party, because the guy has a little bit too much common sense. You know, we don't agree on everything, obviously, but there's certain common sense issues that it's like, yeah, he's not insane, he's not mentally like deficient. You know, and that's his problem. That's why he can't appeal to the Democrat electorate, besides the fact he's challenging Biden. Because I would almost argue, even in an open primary race, you could see this guy ending up like Andrew Yang, right? He's too nice. He doesn't spend enough time being woke or playing into culture wars. You know, they want the guy who's going to call everyone racist every 10 seconds. And listen, that's not him. Right? Has the guy mentioned bigotry or any of this stupid culture war? No, he actually has been speaking to like things that matter to people, right? He has mentioned, oh, we need to beat Donald Trump. I get it. He's running as a Democrat, but like, look at the issues he brought up. It's like people in this country are hurting. Healthcare is a big problem. That's true. That's an issue Democrats tend to beat us on. We need to have our solution of our own, but that's true. Homelessness is shameful. It is a real crisis and it's out of control. I mean, like I said, this guy is too smart for his own party. You know, but if they ever had the wisdom to put him up in 2028 against the Republican, I would be very scared for our side. I really would. Good news is they're not smart enough for that. So
shameful. Not when I'm president and not when we get this done, my friends. Education. Why are we still a country that doesn't afford pre-K education for all? And why are we still a country that burdens our young people with tens of thousands of dollars in debt? Not when I'm president. In fact, when I'm president, we're going to fix Social Security so it works for everybody. And the women that I sat with in North Conway who have to eat cold cereal for the last 3 days of the month won't have to any longer. But most importantly, we're going to actually do what this great American promise is all about. It's the equality of opportunity. And when I'm president, we're going to start something called American Dream Accounts. When you're born, no matter your zip code, no matter who your parents are, no matter from where you are going to get $1,000 in an account that's going to be invested in our stock market. It's going to grow every year. You can add $500 a year to it. And as an incentive to graduate high school, every single American kid will have a $20,000 investment account to become an owner of this economy, a down payment on a house, start a small business, start your lives from the same level. You know what? Our country.
So, you know, like, I don't know if that idea would work. I'm not, you know, like, where'd you get the money for it? Would you trust the government to, I don't know, but I will say that, so I'm not going to comment on that, honestly. I'd have to like think about the actual implications of that. But I will say this. I know a lot of Republicans would turn around and just call that, oh, that's socialism, right? But see, again, this is why this guy is so dangerous, is because that is a very populist proposal that, again, maybe it wouldn't work, right? Like Andrew Yang with UBI, like, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it like, he's actually talking about the death of the American dream and families and how hard it is now and how, you know, people don't feel bought into the system and all this stuff. Again, are his solutions the right solutions? Not necessarily. I'm not saying they are, but like, notice the things he's talked about. This, by the way, is what a lot of Democrats used to talk about. Not anymore. Now it's just, you're racist, threat to democracy, fascist, whatever, right? All that crap. But this is again why this guy is so dangerous. Because what did he say? He says, we want affordable healthcare for Americans. We want to, again, that's like an interesting idea, but we want to have like an American dream promise thing for people. These are populist issues. They're not along racial lines or anything like that. These are like just ordinary stuff to help middle-class families. They're not divisive, even if you disagree. They're not like divisive ideas, right? But again, that's why he's too smart for his own party. He really is. He really is. And you know, again, like, I don't agree with the guy, but I respect him for doing this. I do. But
It was founded on the premise that all are created equal. But our country has never treated everybody equal. When I'm president, for the first time in our history, we will. We're going to raise the bar. We're going to raise the foundation. We're going to make kids the most successful kids in the world.
And you've been listening to Congressman Dean Phillips out of the...
Okay, so there's a speech. And here's my point, right? Everyone, some people in chat are saying, yeah, it is socialism. I'm not saying it's not, but here's what I'm trying to explain to people. Here's the note that he's hitting on, and why I say he could be dangerous and Republicans need to counter this type of stuff is, okay, it's like why Bernie Sanders with his healthcare plan was so popular with some people, even though it's like, that's actually a terrible idea. But what are other candidates saying about healthcare? Basically nothing, right? And the truth is, just as an example to give you, the healthcare system is crooked. It's broken. It's corrupt. It's ridiculously expensive. It shouldn't be the way it is, right? And typically, again, why I say the guy could be dangerous is that if you are the only person offering a solution to the problem, inherently, you're going to be more popular with people than the person who gives no solution, even if your solution is wrong. Same thing with RFK, right? He has a proposal. I think it's like government-backed mortgages or something at a fixed rate. So I forget the exact idea, but basically the idea is to protect home ownership for regular Americans, you know. And, you know, someone can remind me on the specifics of that. It's been months since I heard it. But I listened to that idea, and he talks about how, like, we are going to use this to stop BlackRock and stuff from buying up all the homes. And I listened to that idea. And I know, like, some people might, and I have those same skepticisms about it. Like, would it work? You know, how would the government do that? You know, like, would it? So I don't know, right? I'm skeptical inherently of the idea of the proposal. But at the same time, it's like, here's one of the few candidates in either party that is presenting a solution to the housing crisis, which is very real and which does need to be addressed. And so this is my point, is that anyone who actually comes to the table with solutions to the problems that basically all Americans outside of the 1%, to quote Bernie Sanders, actually do feel, they're going to hit a nerve with someone. Okay. And that's why, again, I'm kind of thankful that Biden is just, you know, obviously going to win the primary, because even if people want to turn around and call his idea with the American Dream Fund or whatever socialism, how many struggling families do you think out there would appreciate something like that? Or, you know, you talk about this, the issue in our country of people not having enough kids, right? This is the issue conservatives talk about. I don't know if that's the solution to the problem. Okay. You know, but however, right? At least it's an idea that is defending the American family, trying to help give people a future and not sending it overseas or just ignoring the corporatism or the problems in our country. So again, my point here on this guy is he's a very interesting character. Okay, that's the way I see him. And you know, I'm glad he doesn't actually have a chance. Because again, you guys in the chat can say that's socialism. Let me just tell you, even if it is, it's an idea that would resonate with a lot of ordinary people. It would, right? It's not the normal Democrat campaign line of like racism, sexism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. You know, that one video? That's literally what Democrats campaign on, right? Is like, but didn't once mention race, didn't once mention gender or any of these culture wars. He just has these solutions to make life better for the average American. I don't agree with all his solutions necessarily. I don't know if all of his solutions would work, but that's why he's so dangerous as a Democrat. Okay. So that's my thoughts on Dean Phillips. Again, props to him for at least trying to address some of the issues, trying to stand up to Biden. And, I guess I'll say I wish him the best of luck in the future, because Democrat Party is going to try to silence this guy now. I'm not even saying by those means. I'm just saying they're definitely going to muzzle him, make sure he never comes back in the party. So